Hey everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of Talking Movies with D, and that's me. Now, as some of you may already know, I'm really into movies, whether it's talking about them, being in them, watching them, or anything movie related. Because of that, my family, friends, and even people at work, they come and ask me, what's the new movie out? What's the new movie that just came out that they go see, or anything movie news related. So I figured, since I like talking movies so much, why not start a movie channel and talk movies all the time? So now that we got all the small stuff out the way, let's talk about the very first piece of movie news, and that is the Star Wars trailer. The Star Wars trailer dropped on Black Friday, and before I get into what I thought about the trailer, I want to talk about what led up to it. So Disney and Lucasfilms decided on Black Friday in select theaters they'd play the trailer before their movies, and only in select theaters. Here in Washington, there was only one that was in Seattle. But the days before the trailer actually was dropped, there's a bunch of fan-made trailers, and I mean, you could tell some of them were good, some of them were like whatever. But there was one actually that had Yoda, who was just laying down asleep, and then a regular alarm clock comes on, and he wakes up, and it just Star Wars Awakens, or Force Awakens. And I thought that was pretty funny. Of course, knowing it was fan-made, but it made me laugh. But because of that, and this is just my theory, I'm not sure if that's really why they did it, but I think because those fan-made trailers, they just said, you know what, instead of just putting it out in select theaters only, they released it online as well. So you can also go to select theaters, or you could just go online, which worked for me because after eating all I did for Thanksgiving, I didn't really want to drive to Seattle. But let me get to the trailer. So the trailer is technically a teaser, so we're not getting story or anything like that because the movie is still a year away. It starts with what's his name, John Boyega, who is, you see him as a stormtrooper, and he looks panicked. Now, there's a lot of speculation going on that he's a stormtrooper that found kind of trying to change his way, which makes the most sense to me. I mean, but he could actually be somebody dressed as a stormtrooper like Luke did in New Hope. And there's a lot of controversy going on about that because anybody who's just going off of the movies or going off of the prequels, they think that the stormtroopers are all clones. But for anybody that really knows or that's really into Star Wars, reading the expanding universe or anything like that, knows that the stormtroopers actually stopped after the Clone Wars. It was stop clones, and they just started taking in recruits. So if that frustrates you about the trailer, don't worry. It's not supposed to be clones anymore. So he could actually be a stormtrooper. Next thing I want to talk about is through the whole trailer, it looks like everybody is in a rush. Like there's a lot going on. Like everybody's panicked. Whatever's going on is just, hey, we got to hurry up and get this done, or we got to hurry up and get this. Everybody's rushing somewhere or ready to fight a battle, or something's going on, which I really like. I mean, it shows going to be an action-packed movie. 30 years have passed since, the events of episode 6. So we got a lot of stuff to worry about. The other thing I want to talk about is the Andy Serkis, and he's the one who did the voiceover. If you don't know who Andy Serkis is, you probably haven't seen his face, but you definitely seen his performances if you watch Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, the Hobbit films, The Lord of the Rings, and this guy is a genius when it comes to mocap, and he's a good actor. But and you'll see him in the new Age of Ultron when that comes out. He's in the trailer real quick. But his voice in the trailer was just powerful. So it makes you think he's going to be not only important, but somebody strong. Or at least I'm hoping so. I hope he's somebody with the Force that commands a presence. So a Sith Lord, or the right-hand man to Luke, or somebody that can pull some weight and can talk with that tone. It's just, he has to be somebody powerful. I just wonder, is he going to be either a mocap character to where you see all the makeup or whatnot, or see the computer makeup, or is he going to actually, see his face and go off that? Man, they could actually do both, but we'll see which one they actually end up doing. The next thing I want to talk about is the tri-saber. I think they're calling it. Is when you see the probably somebody from the dark side. We're just gonna assume. We can't be 100% sure, but it's safe to assume that when they come out with their tri-saber and it looks like they just came from a battle or they're running from somewhere. I really like that. I mean, especially because you hear Andy Serkis in the back saying the dark side, and then the saber comes out. There's been a lot of speculation that it's I can't think of her name. The girl from 12 Years a Slave. I can't think of her name. Man, I wish I knew her name right now. But I hope she's a Sith Lord because she's an incredible actress, and it just I feel like it makes sense if she was like maybe not Massage Ventress, but somebody of her caliber. And then what I didn't think was gonna happen, what I thought was gonna happen when I heard Andy Serkis say the light side was, I thought we're gonna see a Jedi or somebody bring out their Jedi saber with blue or green, but instead they showed us the Millennium Falcon, and that was, I think, the best thing they could do. At least in my opinion, at least for me, that's what I think the best thing they do, because we don't know what still leaves us to speculate, what's going on with Luke, or is there a Jedi Council again, or all the Jedi back, or what's really going on. It leaves us still to speculate and talk about, what's really going on. And I love that about it, because we still have a year till the actual movie comes out. And just in case you didn't know, the movie comes out on my birthday, December 18th, 2015. So we know where I'll be for my birthday. I mean, I'm always in the mood for my birthday either way. But my second piece of news, let me see. Oh, before I get to the second piece of news, I just gotta say I love the trailer or the teaser. I can't wait for the actual trailer so we can get the story. And if you wait for the end of the trailer and listen, it's been confirmed by Good Morning, I believe it's Good Morning America, that you'll hear Luke's lightsaber at the very end after they showed the Star Wars Awakens, and that's December 2015. You'll hear his lightsaber. So that was pretty cool. It's something very J.J. Abrams-ish, because he's a big fan. The next piece of news is another trailer, which is Jurassic World. And for a while, I haven't really cared too much about Jurassic World, just because of the stench from the last two they made. Loved the first one. The second two was kind of, I guess, whatever. I was a kid, so it wasn't really that big about them in either way. But I was excited about Chris Pratt, and then that's all I really paid attention to. Didn't really worry about it. But watching the trailer, first off with the story, I love how it's in the trailer. I felt like they did what they wanted, because they really captured the fact that we're going to Disney. Like we're going to Disney World, we're going to Sea World or something like that, because that's what Jurassic World is to the people in the movie. Like they're just going to see dinosaurs. It's open every day, and you can go as many times as you want, and it's not that big of a deal. Like if I was to go to Sea World or Disney World, something like that, it's not going to be that big of a deal if I've already been, So I like the way they captured that was perfect, because dinosaurs aren't a big thing to them in the world. They see them all the time. Ty Simpkins, the little kid in the movie who's going to be one of our main characters, or main side characters, is the little kid from Iron Man 3. And I'm happy he's in it, because I thought he was perfect in Iron Man 3. I mean, him and Rob Downey Jr. together was perfect. And then you have Bryce Dallas Howard, who's from The Help, and I love her. Like Help, what was it? Help, and can't think of what else she was in right now, but she's a great actress. And then of course you got Chris Pratt, which he's great. Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff like that. And I'm excited about him, especially because in the trailer it doesn't seem like he's gonna be the super goofy guy as he is in Guardians and Parks and Rec, I believe is his TV show. So that's pretty cool that he's gonna be changing it up just a little bit. And the shot that I was just ready for, like it just had me excited, was when the great white shark's just kind of dangling in the air, like they do at SeaWorld with a small fish to a dolphin. It's like dangling it for this big monster dinosaur to come snatch it out of the water, and just like everybody's shocked at it, but it's like this is something that happens every day. It's just kind of crazy to think of it that way. But that was great, and the shot with Chris Pratt that everybody's loving is when I don't think he's being chased by the raptors. It's more like I guess they can control the dinosaurs. He'd ride with the raptors as their pack of friends. But that I loved, and that threw me for a loop because I thought he was about to get snatched by him. But then you realize like, oh, they must be friends or something like that. But one thing that I believe a lot of people are complaining about is the music, because it's not Jurassic Park type music, and I agree with it in a way. But at the same time, the music just did it for me with this trailer. Because if you remember the first Jurassic Park, at least for me, when I watched the first Jurassic Park, great entertainment, loved it, everything about it. But the movie was scary, especially for me as a kid. I was scared of the T-Rex yelling and all that stuff. And the music just puts you there to where it's not going to just be an action movie. It's going to be a movie where you should be frightened, you should be scared, and the characters are terrified. They're being chased by some made-up dinosaur that's probably, can kill everybody there with no problem. Or not probably, can kill everybody there with no problem. So, I mean, they captured that perfectly. And I think that trailer did everything it was supposed to do. It made me excited for the movie. And before I was like, oh, I'm definitely going to see it, but I'm not looking forward to it as much as, Star Wars or something like that. For the next piece of news, I actually saw the trailer for Selma, which is the Martin Luther King movie that's coming out. And it's actually getting Oscar buzz. So that's the reason why I want to talk about it, because the movie's getting Oscar buzz, and rightfully so, I would say, because in the trailer, I really got the feeling that they're going to capture everything that everybody in Selma went through with Martin Luther King. And, they got a great actor, David, I can't say his name, or I've never said it out loud, David Yellow or something like that. He's from like Red Tails, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and Lincoln, so he's having him as the lead is great. He was. I loved him in everything I've seen him in. I believe he was also in Interstellar for a little bit too. And so he's playing Martin Luther King, and his performance in the trailer actually looks great. And then you have Oprah and another. It's not a star-studded cast, but it's a talented cast of multiple different actors and actresses. And it really looks like they're going to do this movie justice. So I'm really happy about that. And I'm happy it's getting a lot of Oscar buzz as well. That's all the movie news I have for you guys today. But every week I do the show, I want to make sure I give you guys a movie that you might want to go see or check out. So the one that's in theaters that I think you guys should go see, if you haven't already seen Hunger Games, which if you haven't seen Hunger Games, you need to go run out and see it. It's a great movie, but it's a blockbuster juggernaut, so most people have seen it. Even my grandma saw it, and she never saw the first two. She saw the third one. Then the next day, the day after Thanksgiving, she went home and saw the other two. I gave them to her so she could watch, and now she's a big fan. But the movie I'm picking for seeing this weekend is Horrible Bosses 2. If you saw the first one and liked it, or if you're into raunchy comedies, and this movie is rated R, so make sure you're prepared for that. But if you're into raunchy comedies that will kind of push the envelope, Horrible Bosses 2 is a movie that'll have you laughing throughout the movie. Now, granted, there's some campy parts and some parts that, didn't do it so well for me. But all in all, I was laughing through the whole movie. Jason Bateman, Jason Sudeikis, and Charlie Day, they had a great, great chemistry, and they're great fighting throughout the whole movie. Their characters fighting, and then they brought back Jennifer Aniston, Jamie Foxx, and Kevin Spacey. And Kevin Spacey, his seemed a little bit more forced. I kind of was more just like not him as the actor, because he's great, but his role in the movie I kind of wasn't great with. It was fine, but that was one of the things that kind of took me out of it. It felt like it was forced. But for Jamie Foxx and Jennifer Aniston, I love Jamie Foxx. He's one of my favorite entertainers. So this was perfect as Mother Effer Jones. And Jennifer Aniston, I love her in this character. This is my favorite role she's been in. That and We're the Millers. She's just so dirty. That's wrong. That's the reason why I like her, is because she's so dirty in the movie as a character. But it just blew me away. I never thought Jennifer Aniston would play this role, so I love her in the role. Then you have Christoph Waltz, who's always great in everything he does, and Chris Pine, and both of them together. Both of them in the movie are great in their characters. So both of them give some good laughs, play some good bad guys, and that's all for my movie pick of the week in theaters. Now the one I picked for DVD is 22 Jump Street. 22 Jump Street might be my favorite comedy of the year. I'm not sure quite yet. It's definitely up there. If it's not my favorite of the year, and it's definitely gonna probably be in my top 10 most likely. But the movie with Jonah, you have Jonah Hill, Channing Tatum coming back, Ice Cube, and those three together are perfect. Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum are perfect, and I don't remember who they have. Peter Storman, who's the main villain, and he plays a villain a lot, like in Bad Boys 2 and stuff. He's a really good villain. They have Jillian Bell, who I've only seen one of the movies she's in, which is Bridesmaids, but I don't remember in it. I don't remember her, you know what I mean? But she was great in this movie. She's very funny. If you watch the outtakes, a lot of the improv stuff they did, or just the extra jokes they would take, was funny, especially her clowning on Jonah Hill. Then they have Amber Stevens, who she's from the TV show Greek, and I love that show and loved her in it, and I'm glad she was in this because she's just great to look at, great actress, and anybody I'm a fan of, I love seeing them do good work. Let's see, and I don't want to give spoilers away for the movie, so I'm not going to tell you much about the characters, but there's a part in the movie, there's a big joke in the best joke in the movie is with Ice Cube, Channing Tatum, and Jonah Hill. And I'm just going to say it's going to surprise you, but it's good. If you don't laugh, something's wrong with you. It's very funny, and it's how I would imagine anybody would act if they were in that situation. The situation's funny and messed up at the same time, and I believe anybody would do the same thing. But I will admit, though, some parts are kind of too far, or just not too far in a bad way, more too far in a, all right, I got it, or you probably wouldn't act. Nobody would act this way exactly. So that's a little bit of a negative about it. But for the most part, they're having fun, making fun of themselves, and I actually believe that movie's better than the first one. 21 Jump Street is not as good as 22 Jump Street, and 21 Jump Street was really good. So I believe that's all I have for the movie news or any news for you guys today. I do want to say, if you have any questions or you want to, have topics to talk about, just email us at talkingmovies@gmail.com, and who knows, I might bring up a topic you email in. I might, put your email on the video, and we'll talk about that. Also, before I get out of here, if you guys ever want to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and just look me up as Derrick Woodron, and make sure to give our YouTube channel a like, subscribe, share it, and just continue talking movies. Make sure to comment on the video and let me know what you think. We're here to talk movies, and that's all I got to say, really. So everybody have a good day, and hope you had a good Thanksgiving.